Hello, everyone, and welcome to my bar. My name is Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your Dungeon Barkeep today. Now, normally I make cocktails using the roll of the dice and my willingness to try anything, but today we're doing something special. We're doing a one-shot of cachaça. So, friends, every once in a while I get the opportunity to add something new and exciting to the rail for my cocktails, and today is one of those days. Starting in a couple months, I'm going to be adding 3 new liquors to the rail, and that'll be after our special shows. But when we come back to the home bar here in the cave, I will be adding Italicus, bergamot liqueur, chartreuse, and I will be adding cachaça. This stuff is really exciting for me for a couple reasons. One is that I have been looking forward to trying to make a caipirinha. I hope I'm saying that even close to correctly. For a while. That's a really fun Brazilian cocktail that I really want to try. But also, I love rum, and this is not rum, but it is in that family of liquors, and as such, I am optimistic about really, really liking it. So, let's go ahead and crack open this bottle of cachaça and see how it tastes. Oh, that's good. Yes. Okay. Here we go. So let's pour just a little bit into this shot glass. Full disclosure, these are 2-ounce shot glasses, so I'm only going to fill it about halfway for this one shot. Now, cachaça is made from sugarcane juice, which is a little bit different from the molasses remnants that go into making a rum. And while obviously I haven't tasted it yet, I can't tell you what that's going to do to it. I'm told that it is significant in its distinction. Now, that may just be Brazilians being proud of their national liquor. But I would like to presume that that is something we can take to the bank. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. It smells very perfumey. It's definitely got a bang of proof off of it. It smells alcoholic. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So is this different from rum? Yes. It's a lot drier for starters. This is more like a honey schnapps almost. Like it's got that floral note. Yeah. A Jelligato at home, who's watching in the live taping, asks if it's floral. Yes, it's got a floral quality to it. Although I wouldn't say that's the first thing you think of. It does have this I don't know. It's got what I imagine sugarcane would smell like, which is to say that, sugarcane unroasted, I feel like probably has a neutral, grassiness to it. I haven't spent a lot of time around sugarcane groves, but that's the impression I get. So it smells the way I imagine sugarcane to smell, I guess. That bamboo-y sort of quality. And yeah, it's got this aggressive, heavy, schnapsy, alcoholic whack at the very front. Which now that I know I'm expecting, there's a broad bitterness that comes into the sides of your tongue. Yeah, which again sort of feels related to that, heavy proof, very alcoholic, schnapsiness to it. It's very interesting. So cachaça is frequently used in a drink called a caipirinha. Again, I'm not 100% confident on the pronunciation of that, but caipirinha is made with sugar and lime, lots and lots of lime, and like 2 tablespoons of sugar, so a pretty large amount of sugar as well. And now that I have tasted it on its own, I think I understand why. You want to help that out a lot in what you mix it in. So it makes good sense that if this is something that your culture has a lot of access to, that it's something you would want to, build a drink to make that super palatable, and muddling an entire lime and 2 tablespoons of sugar in there will absolutely do that. Is it like rum? I'm gonna say no. I think that people who reduce it to being like rum are maybe missing the boat a little bit. It's got a very different, a drier quality to it, and yeah, highly, highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. So, what would we do to integrate cachaça into an adventuring world? Hmm. It seems to me that the cachaça, similar to its real world roots, this is made from the byproduct of the sugar, uh, yeah, I guess just the sugar making process, right? So you have to cut it down, you have to roast it, you have to do all the things that turn sugar cane into sugar granules. There's lots of byproducts of that, and this says that it's a yeasted distillation as well, according to the label here. Um, so that makes even more sense if you're, thinking about it as being like a schnapps. Uh, but yeah, so I don't know at what point in the sugar making process the cane water is made. So that's something I'd be very interested to do some further research into. But I feel like similar to the real world roots in Brazil, where they're using whatever process to make sugar that involves creating this sugar cane water, or perhaps just straining it off of the cane itself. This is the drink that belongs to a tradition of agrarian people in a culture, and it reminds me also of Romanian schnapps style beverages, and a lot of those Eastern European drinks that are similarly, this was the only thing we had that had enough sugar in it to distill, so we mixed it with yeast and left it out for a while. And now, even though if you're from outside of our society, you might not like this, um, we've all grown up with it, and it's important to us as a culture. I feel like that's true of caipirinha, or cachaça, um, or your cachaça analog in your fantasy setting, in that it's sharp, it's bitter, it's aggressive, it's very alcoholic, and or at least it seems very alcoholic. Let's see. Oh, it's actually okay. It's 80 proof, so that. Um, I think that space is open for a lot of different cultures, and if I were writing a story, I think I would want to lean away from, at least right now, I'm in a mood to lean away from a lot of the traditionally agrarian cultures and sort of get into something that might be a little bit more innovative or interesting. So I wonder if it might be interesting to have a society of elves that are remote. They're not as like settled in their own ways as, say, like a Lothlorien elf, or a lot of the elves that you see in standard D&D society, where they've got, Lothlorien and Rivendell style cities, and they're frequently, the oldest people of the world. A lot of that Tolkien DNA gets its way into a lot of our D&D worlds. But I wonder if there's not a space for, well, these elves, yeah, they live super long, and so that makes them just incredible farmers. Like the same elf can tend the same patch of land for centuries upon centuries upon centuries, and that lends itself to a level of cultural importance for whatever your crop is. And if the crop that this elf society happens to grow is sugarcane, or again, your fantasy world's analog for sugarcane, I think it makes good sense that those elves, over the course of their centuries of life, have found ways to use every byproduct of that sugarcane, whether it's to make sugar, whether it's to make molasses, whether it's to make molasses candies, whether alcohol. I'm sure they found ways to make food out of it. I think that's a really cool way to sort of turn it on its head in a fantasy setting. So yeah, and there's as Jellygato in our live chat during the live taping of this points out, she says, I love the idea of sugarcane elves, and I think that's sugarcane elves is exactly what you call them. It sort of implies this sweet life, because that's exactly what it is. They produce this material that can be shipped around the world. It's really hardy and robust. It's foundational to a lot of other foodstuffs, and is good for making alcohol, which also ships around the world really well. So they've got this like international impact from their own small culturation around this specific trade good, or this specific crop. So yeah, I think that the way to bring Cachaca into an adventure would be to introduce to your players the sugarcane elves. The elves who have tended these lands for century upon century and create this highly specialized and acquired taste beverage, Cachaca. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's one shot. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all the things YouTubers tell you to do. And until next time, drink adventurously. Racing.